Greetings to all of humanity's reader. Joy, it's a pleasure. It's my honor as usual to be greeting you. And I'll bring this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. That's the reason why I want to share with you how you need to go to bed more consciously, and how Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia, who was Neville Goddard mentor, how he taught him how important it is for him to go to bed consciously. And he taught Neville Goddard the mystery of the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind really works and how it can create your reality consciously or unconsciously. That's the reason why it is very important for you to know the truth about the Bible, especially if you were taught that the Bible is literal and that the Bible is secular history. Abdullah taught Neville Goddard what is true Christianity by pointing him to look inwardly and teaching him that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. He also taught him that the Bible was written symbolically and that it have no reference to anyone who existed thousands of years ago or to any actual event that would have taken place on earth thousands of years ago. He taught Neville Goddard that the Bible is all about the human psyche and that from Genesis to Revelation it's all a great psychological drama. That's why I want to share this psychological drama with you and give you an exercise to do for you to prove for yourself. So this thing doesn't base on belief, because belief is when you actually do not know. But when you have an experience, that is the true knowing. So false Christianity is having you on false hope or false belief, thinking it's the right thing. But the real thing is your experience. So experience is the greatest teacher. So Neville gave his students certain exercises, and one of the exercises that he gave was teaching Neville how to understand Job chapter 33, when it says that when man slumbereth upon the bed, that's when his instructions are being sealed. And he explained to Neville that the central theme of the Bible is man's imagination, and how the scripture is teaching you of the subconscious mind and how you're moving out of the three-dimensional world and moving into the fourth-dimensional world. And whatever you take into the fourth-dimensional world, it can be expressed back in the three-dimensional world as long as it's been received by the subconscious mind. But the subconscious mind have to receive it as feeling, because you are slipping into a void when you're going to sleep. I'm speaking from experience because it happened to me already, where I fall asleep consciously and know myself for a moment, and whatever I wish, that wish is the command of the genie. That genie is your God self, your true self, your higher self. It can give you whatever you desire in this world. And that is why it's very important to use your imagination just before you go to bed. And that is why when Neville had this burning desire to travel to Barbados to be with his family, and he had no money, he had no work, Abdullah told him that he have already gone to Barbados and that he would have already gone first class, showing you that time is just an illusion. And Abdullah would have already gone there in his imagination. Everything would have already taken place before. And so Neville went there first class. He went to Barbados first class and proved for himself why it is very important for you to use your imagination just before you go to bed and to go to the end. Because Abdullah told Neville, now every time that you're going to bed, about 5 to 10 minutes before you go to bed to sleep, You are to use your imagination and see yourself sleeping in your mother's home in Barbados while you're residing in New York. And Abdullah also told him to see himself walking the streets of Barbados as he walked the streets of New York, also in his imagination. So he was doing this night after night. So you are to go and read Job chapter 33 verses 14 to 16 and you see what I'm speaking about. Then in Psalms chapter 4 and verses 4, it tells you the same thing too. It says that you must commune with your own heart upon your bed and then go into that stillness, go into that place of quietness that you can listen. So true prayer is learning to commune with your own heart, with your subconscious mind. When I speak of the heart, it's speaking of your subconscious mind, where you must generate feeling, where you must generate the emotion, because it's represent energy in motion. For everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, and you are a mass of energy. So my brother and my sisters, that is why true prayer is looking inwardly, having desire, and going into meditation. That is why in Matthew chapter 6 and verses 6, it tells you how you should pray. And before that, it tells you mustn't be like the hypocrites who like to be seen and heard. Which is saying you must not be speaking audibly to a God outside of yourself. But you must go into the secret place, into your closet, into your innermost being. That place where you receive thoughts and where you send out thoughts from. It is the storehouse or the storeroom of God. It is the place where the Father resides. The Father is your higher self, your true self, the invisible you, the invisible substance that you must pull from through your perception. Okay? So it says that when you go into the secret place, that you must close the door, which is closing your eyes, the doorway to your soul. And that soul is dealing with that light. That's why we refer to the system as the solar system. And when you pull from that invisible, formless substance, it transmutes into matter as long as you stay in that feeling of your wish fulfilled. Because you keep impressing the subconscious mind with your feeling. And once you impress the subconscious mind with that feeling, that blessing is yours. That's why feeling gets the blessing. So Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard how to live in that feeling and fall asleep in that feeling. Because when you go to bed and you fall asleep, you're going into the world of possibilities. So we are limitless beings because we are spirit having a human experience. So when we go into the world of limitlessness, it is the world of all possibilities, where all possibilities exist. That's why it is said, with God all things are possible. And if thou canst believe, all things are possible to them that believe. When you believe in a higher self, when you believe in your imagination, when you believe that imagination is God in man and you trust your imagination, everything you desire in this world, you trust your imagination. Because you understand that the kingdom of God is within you, according to Luke 17:21. And you understand also, according to Matthew 6:33, that when you seek first the kingdom and you discover the kingdom, that all these things will be added unto you. When you realize that it's saying that when you find the secret of creation, right, that is when you find the kingdom. And when you find the kingdom, you actually find the secret of creation. You'll be able to create your reality consciously. Then you will understand how important it is to depend on your imagination and how to use your imagination just before bed and when you awake. Because the way you go to bed would mean how you will awake, and the way how you awake would mean how you spend the rest of your day. And how you spend the rest of your day would mean how you spend the rest of your week. And how you spend the rest of your week would mean how you spend your months and your years and the rest of your life. So your life deals with the going to bed and the waking up. So that's where you program yourself. So you program yourself as you go to bed how you want to see yourself. And you program yourself when you awake how you want to see yourself throughout the day, which is you saying how you want to see your life. So you are the Lord and Master of your destiny. And the Bible is teaching you that you are the Lord and Master of your destiny if you know how you're supposed to approach the throne room of your higher self to have the favors take place in your life, because it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom, but you have to know how to approach the Father. So if you approach the Father as one outside of yourself, then that's the kind of result you will get. But if you approach the Father knowing that the Father is your higher self, your true essence, and you go within, you will get the results that you impress upon your subconscious mind, upon the Father, and the Father will pronounce you the blessing. That whole drama is played out in the story of Esau and Jacob. That whole story is played out with the story of Joseph and his father who loved him and gave him the coat of many colors. It is you lighting up the 7 chakras that light going up your backbone, and you climbing that true Jacob ladder. And when you send that feeling, it sends the electricity all around your body, because you are an electrical being and you are a magnetic being also, and it magnetizes that which you so desire by the feeling. So the feeling that you put on your subconscious mind activate the magnetism to bring that thing into your environment, because it's on the same level of frequency and vibration. So it vibrates back to you. That's why nothing rests, everything vibrates. So Abdullah was teaching Neville Goddard the power of vibration, the power of energy, vibration, and frequency, the power of knowing your true identity, the power of understanding what it means to go to bed and what it means to awake. That is why there must be an awakening in your life. That is why those who are foolish are those who are still in the sleep. It is those who are still living the life of the dead, because we all came here through the state of amnesia, which is that state of forgetfulness. That is the part of death. The death of sleep, which is amnesia. And until we are away from the death of sleep and discover true self, our higher self, then we will remain in that sleep. And you have come here to awake out of that sleep and to know your higher self. So the best way for it to happen is for you to understand that the Bible is your spiritual autobiography that must be interpreted psychologically, and to understand that it is your own thought that is creating your reality, creating your personality. And that if you change your thinking, you can change your destiny, because thoughts become things. And we become what we think about most of the time. So my brother and my sisters, the key is that everything is based on your mentality. So my brother and my sisters, you must grab a hold of your mentality and understand the law of mentalism, which says that everything was first a thought, everything was first an idea, everything was first imagined. So if you do not have get a hold of understanding the law of mentalism, you'll be chopped, and you will be chopped here for a very long time, just going over and 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 over, up to about say 9 lifetimes, because there's no number higher than 9. And they're doing so much thing in the world to keep you from coming to the 9 power, which is the highest state of consciousness, your Christ consciousness. Because when you come to your Christ consciousness, you will realize the lie of the Jesus and Mary story that was told to you and interpreted to you as if it is literal and as if it is secular history, when it is your own damn autobiography, your spiritual autobiography. So my brother and my sisters, this is what it means to have real power. This is what it really means to understand true hierarchy or true aristocracy. The only aristocracy there is that of the spirit. That's why you must find your spiritual self and live in spiritual health and wellness by having the right mindset of knowing exactly, first of all, who you are. And it all depends on how you go to bed and how you awake. It's as simple as that. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, this is what Abdullah was actually teaching Neville Goddard, so he can experience it and teach it to the rest of humanity. And that's why I'm sharing it with you also. And I would like to say, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me and what I'm saying, it's helping you in any way, I would like to say, if you haven't subscribed already, to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. But just before I leave you, I want to remind you that this message I bring to you, that it is the single eye message of self-realization, of which Matthew 6:22 says that if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And it is because my single eye has been open and my whole body was filled with light when I changed from mortal to immortality in that twinkling of an eye, and come to realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N in a S-O-N, and that it is the dawning of a new day in your life. For the Bible is the sun book, as in the S-U-N. And when you realize that it is the rising of the S-U-N and the S-O-N, you realize that the sun parallels the human imagination, and the human imagination parallels the sun. For without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And without the human imagination, there isn't anything made that was made. And you're told in Psalms 84:11 that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing will he withhold from you. And common sense will teach you that the sun has never withheld any good thing from you. For the sun is what powers all of humanity and gives all of humanity its energy. Then in Malachi chapter 4 verses 2, you're told that the sun, as in the S-U-N of righteousness, shall arise in you with healing in his wings. And truly, when the sun has risen in me, I am bringing healing to all of humanity, pointing each and every one to look inwardly, to discover that your real identity is your divinity, and to use your mind power, which is your solar power, your sun power, your God power, your creative power, which is actually the sexual power. Use that power to achieve your every desire. For this was the message that was taught to Neville Goddard by Abdullah, the black mystic from Ethiopia. So my brother and my sisters, always remember to go to bed consciously and wake consciously, because imagination creates reality. So with that being said, I want to say peace, love you all,